Heavy Duty.
Heavy Duty. It's an anthem. It's a bit of an anthem, isn't
It's
it?
anthemic.
It's anthemic, yeah.
Yeah. It may not be an anthem, but it is anthemic.
No, this line contains, and this song contains the line, just want to make some eardrums bleed. You know, we've never actually done that, but that's still the goal, you know, to really do damage.
Well, man's reach should exceed his grasp.
That's exactly right. Should exceed his eardrums. It's a celebration of the great discomfort of great rock and roll. You know, great rock and roll should hurt, and it should change your life, not necessarily for the better, but you keep going back to it.
It's really somewhat of an addiction, loud music, because you want more.
Yeah.
You want more loudness. You want more damage, and
So you have to keep turning it up.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, we've never heard, in all of our years, we've never heard anyone shout out from the audience, "Turn it down."
Never.
No.
Well, we wouldn't have heard it anyway.
No, we wouldn't have said it either.
No.
You know.
No. Basically, you know, I've said this before, but the kind of music we play has to be loud, extremely loud.
Yeah.
Softer music, I found in doing research and listening, music like jazz, it's music based on fear.
Yeah.
The fear, what are they so scared of? You can't hear it. What are you playing so softly for?
Yeah.
You know, it's very...
Well,
very gentle.
I've
You
said
say,
this before.
you know, look.
Man up, as they say in America. Man up.
Man up,
But
yeah.
you know, the fact is that jazz is mistakes. You're playing a song, but you do
Wrong.
it wrong.
You're playing it wrong.
You're playing it wrong.
Yeah.
And then it's like everyone goes,
And it's like, oh, great,
jazz,
oh,
of course.
art form, you played it
Art
wrong.
form, yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't get the melody right
It's
again.
a lot of wrong notes,
That's
especially people that play jazz saxophone.
Oh, for God, they're the
just-
worst.
I don't know what they're doing. It's not even.
And they teach that in schools. They teach
I know.
you can get a degree in how to play it wrong.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we've taken the
We're
other
through the
tack.
looking glass.
That's crazy
Yeah,
talk.
we've taken the other tact, and basically let's play in the key.
Yeah.
The notes.
Play
that
the
are
notes that
associated
we had
with
planned.
a given key.
Yeah.
C. What,
Now,
G,
which is
whatever.
not to say that we do not improvise. He will take off.
Oh.
He will improvise like crazy.
Yeah.
But it's all intentional. Jazz is an accident.
Waiting to happen.
Yes.
Waiting to have happened because it's over.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
you're waiting.
Glad to have happened.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they keep fooling with it. You know, was this Miles Davis?
Miles
Yeah.
Davis.
He kept putting this thing in the end of his horn
Yeah.
to make it sound less like a trumpet. What's wrong with him? Well, Sex Farm obviously started as a kind of an extended metaphor for farming and sexual activity, you know, which really do belong together when you think about it.
Well, that's how you get more farm animals.
That's right. Animal husbandry.
And
Anything it's
children
called
as well.
And wifery.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realise that we were doing a little country visit and passed a few sex farms, actual sex farms.
Working
Working
farm.
sex,
They don't have them now.
hard-working sex farms.
Family owned.
Family
working
owned,
sex
family
farms.
run, family,
Everything.
Yeah.
That's where they get the expression stupiteria from.
I've never heard that expression.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's where they got it, though, in case I ever hear
and
it.
we've got
yeah.
pigs and chickens and cows all
And they're
running
all
for
doing
their
it,
lives.
always
yeah.
having sex and
Yeah.
And milkmaids.
Yeah.
less said the better, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Get to work.
You hear that
Get to it,
you know,
darling.
early in the morning.
What's that? It's a
It's
duck.
it's the female duck saying,
How did you learn to speak duck?
well,
It's
you go,
very
go
good.
to a farm. It takes
There's
about
not a
10
trace
minutes.
of a human accent when you do it.
No, it's
No,
interesting.
it's
yeah.
great, yeah. But Sex Farm started out as a kind of a straight-ahead hard rocker. You know, it was the
Yeah.
that kind of thing, you know. And it worked like that, and
Oh, work like a child.
work always works great.
Yeah.
Kids love it,
Classic.
you know, and adults
Classic.
love it, and
Classic.
deceased people even love it.
Yeah, especially deceased people. They're
Especially, yeah.
big
Well,
fans.
no complaints anyway.
Yeah.
But we decided when it came time to go into the studio again that we'd give it another whirl and another style.
Well, we've been doing it live a bit like that, yeah.
That's right.
Do you remember what we gave it a go with
Yeah.
Oh, the
in
waltz.
waltz
Sex
time?
Farm.
Yeah, and it took all the sex. Woman, it's
hard love. Didn't
Yeah.
work at all.
No.
But we knew we wanted to do something.
Two Viennese.
Yeah, we wanted to do something really different, and so we went a bit kind of funky with it.
Yeah.
One. Working on a sex farm, trying to raise some hard love, getting out my pitchfork, poking your head. So it's essentially the same tune.
Sung by the same dude.
Sung by the same guys.
Yeah.
And then we do a little rap section in there.
Yeah.
2, 3, and...
Hey!
Working on a sex farm, trying to raise some hard love, getting out a pitchfork, poking your head,
Hey!
etc. Yeah.
Goes on.
Yeah.
Brit rap.
Brit pop rap.
Yeah,
Brit
we
pop
get
rap.
to do the
Brit bubble pop
percussion parts,
Yeah.
which
I
is
think
the
you
fun
were born
part.
to do that.
Get to do
Have
that.
you ever
bit.
tried to do it without your hands? You can't do it.
Can't do it with that
No.
hands. No.
No, it's
It's
like
all
being
connected.
Italian or
It's all linear,
Yeah.
organic.
Hand-eye mouth coordination.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, one day we looked out in the audience and we noticed that a lot of the girls in the front, in the front row,
Well, not in the front.
Had a big
they
back
had very
row.
little front.
Had a big
Yeah.
back row.
At a big back row, they had their own, in the front row, they had their own back row.
That's
yeah.
right.
And I don't know what it is about this group, but we do attract the larger posterior woman.
Since this song was written, it's
Oh yeah, and I'm saying
like an
before that.
advert. It's like an
Before
advert,
that, it was what inspired that was the fact that a lot of our fans were sitting on a great deal,
Yeah.
and we were part of that deal. I think.
Yeah, well, I think it's fair to say that if I have one real contribution that I've made to Western civilization, it's that riff at the start of Big Bottom. It's iconic. It's and that's
What riff are you talking about?
the
Yeah.
iconic one.
Yeah. It's iconic, except you didn't come up with it.
What are you talking about?
David came up with that. He played it on guitar, and then you played it on bass.
No, not quite. No, historically, I think he's right. I think he did come up with that.
Then he played it on guitar, and then I learned it off of him.
That was me.
Yes.
That's what happened.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was him.
That's my.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
my. That's,
fair enough,
It's
yeah.
iconic.
No.
But it's
iconic.
always nice to do a show, look out in the crowd, and see women with large.
Tushies. You know, I think
That's an American term we've learned.
Yeah.
Tush.
Tushy. Touche.
Yeah. It's a French word for.
I think that
bottom.
we were actually ahead of our time
We always
and
have
behind
been.
everything else.
Yeah.
Ahead
Ahead of our time, behind the curve.
That's right, yeah. Who's the one who did Baby Got Back?
Right.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
That's that
DJ
rib commercial, right?
No, it's before that. No, not Baby. No, you're thinking of Baby Back Ribs. No,
Baby
no,
Got Back.
Baby Got Back.
Yeah.
And that was like years after.
Ripped us
after we
off.
did,
Ripped
yeah.
us off.
Yeah.
Completely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Us off.
It's not the first time.
Did we see a penny
No.
from it? No.
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 We saw one dime.
And so no.
So that's 10
Yeah.
pennies.
Yeah. But the great thing about this song is I think it puts a picture in your mind. So when you hear that riff, you hear that song.
You
start
see
up,
it.
You see
Yeah.
them jiggling.
Yeah, I think any good song really does that, where it evokes an image, and in Big Bottom, it's really right in front
It
of you.
invokes it, and then it revokes it right in front of
Yeah.
your face.
And of course, musically, for all your musos out there, you can hear there's 3 basses.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
And a lot of bass keyboard, and mainly the
Bass drum.
yeah.
Now at Live, we had 19 bass players.
It was an odd number. That's all I remember.
Yeah, 19. There was a lot of them
Were
pretty
odd,
odd. Yeah.
yeah.
No, we had some serious.
You can't have
talent.
too many basses, really,
No.
if you think about
Physically, you cannot overload the bass spectrum.
it. No,
No,
It's impossible.
no.
No.
And people, historically, and this goes way back, love hearing low sounds. It's
Yeah.
like whales and orangutan and various creatures of the night. They love a low sound.
Whales are creatures of the night.
Well, sure. What do you think they do?
Well, it's always dark where they are.
Yeah,
so
that's
they're
what I
under
mean.
Water, but
Yeah.
that's not night.
It's not always dark because they swim near the surface.
No.
And it's light.
Not very
No,
much.
they don't. No.
Huh?
Only when they know there's a ship full of people
Yeah, then
watching them. Then they come
they
up
breach.
and
Yeah.
take the close up.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the story of Big
Bottom.
Bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may be the single most covered non-hit in the history of rock and roll.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a distinction, isn't it?
It's a distinction without a difference. Celtic blues.
Celtic blues, yeah. Well, again, this is all musicians really come from the troubadours of old, the bards, travelling bards. You know, on Ireland they all had harps, and they had lutes in England. But the point was they would strum and they'd play and they'd sing these songs about life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And death.
And death. Yeah.
We took a trip once to Ireland to do some research, and we saw a local rip a stag's horn off his head and blow it. It was the most beautiful sound.
Wait a minute, he blew. What did he blow?
Well, it was like,
Oh,
you
the
know,
horn. I see.
yeah, he had these horns. It didn't hurt the beast. Don't know how that worked, but
How
it
do
was
you
a
know it didn't
mournful
hurt the
sound
beast?
because the beast kind of, if a deer could go like this, then he did.
I
Yeah.
wasn't there. I'm not saying it didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Anyway,
Call this.
as David was saying, you know, it really is the very beginnings of the music that's inspired us from
Yeah.
long ago.
The bardic roots.
It's bardic and Sephardic
Yes.
in many ways.
Yeah.
Never thought of it that way.
And this is one of our few a cappella
It's an
numbers.
acapella number.
Yeah.
And that means, for those of you who don't know, there's no instruments.
Well, there are instruments. They're just
Well,
sitting over
yeah,
there.
we're not using
We're not
them.
playing.
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
They're still,
There
we
were
didn't,
instruments in the room. as
we
I
didn't
recall.
burn them or anything.
No,
like it, yeah.
no, we don't do that.
Yeah.
No, and it's a cappella,
Yeah.
and
Mysterious.
it's mysterious. It's haunting. It's got elements of the outdoors, wood smoke,
It's got woodsy notes.
woodsy notes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Peat.
right. You
Yeah.
can taste the cherry overtones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bit of chocolate.
Yeah.
Burnt chocolate.
Nuttiness as well.
You
Yeah.
need a palate cleanser after this tune.
Yeah.
That's how flavourful it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jazz Odyssey is not really something I can speak to, but
Well,
It's the creation, the sole creation of our resident.
you see,
Well, no, it's just resident.
resident. Yeah. When Nigel does his little riff on jazz,
Yeah.
and what's wrong with jazz, it made me think at one point we should set them right.
Right.
We should say, you want to hear jazz? This is how
You
it goes.
think we want to hear jazz?
You think
yeah.
you want to have jazz?
Yeah.
This is how it goes.
Yeah.
And so it was an opportunity for us to say, all right, jazzers, listen up. This is how it's supposed to
See
be.
how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it's attacked with volume, energy,
Yeah. And what was there was an unusual time signature. What was it?
4/4,
4/4.
yeah, and imagination.
and imagination. That was it.
Yeah. No, I actually like playing it because I have no responsibilities at all. I just play those same two chords over and over again, and I enjoy those two chords.
They're two great chords. They're
Lovely,
ripping,
lovely
ripping
chords.
great chords.
And they're right next to one another.
Yeah.
So it's for me, it's like a day at the beach.
Yeah.
Well, you don't do this at the beach, do you?
Well,
Sometimes.
you got in
I'm
trouble
alone.
for doing that at the beach.
Yeah,
I
that's
recall
right.
that at Brighton.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's an escapade up the neck,
Up the old,
up and down the
up
old
the old
neck.
Kent Road.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Up the Khyber Pass.
yeah, and in the film, the notorious film,
Yes.
it looks a bit sad and bedraggled us playing it.
But it was so poorly recorded.
It was.
That was, yeah, it was
It
one
was.
microphone, and it was being held by some bloke in the third row of this
Yeah,
crap location.
Yeah.
fat geezer, wasn't it?
Big fat
Big
bastard.
fat bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I like about jazz? I use it as a ringtone now, my cell phone.
Do you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You owe me money.
I do.
Yeah, you
well,
do.
I paid someone $1.99. So
Uh-oh. I
yeah.
hate to hear that.
Yeah.
I hate to hear that.
I think
Which
it's
part
a-
of it do you use?
Da 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 da
Oh,
da 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 da
the theme.
da 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 da
Yeah.
da yeah.
The main theme.
The main theme.
Yeah.
Well, the only theme.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an A section with no B section, which is what.
And no vocals.
No.
No.
No vocals.
What can you say?
Walk away.
What can you say? Jazz Odyssey.
I remember in 1966, 67, there was this great influx of songs about the flower power movement.
Mm-hmm.
There were the
There was
flower
an
pot
influx
men
and then a reflux in
and a
response.
reflux. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that was because of the acid.
That's right.
But the Tulip Twins, the Bloom Brothers,
The Dandelion Dandies.
the
remember them?
Dandelion Dan, they were awful. They were awful.
God.
But it was a bandwagon that looked, because of its bright coloration, it looked very inviting, and so we
Yeah.
jumped on.
It looked roomy.
It did, roomy,
Yeah.
spacious.
Spacious.
And there was no harm intended by flower power, really. It was joyful.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we were under the influence somewhat.
Well, occasionally we did. It was at this point the band did begin experimenting
of certain
with drugs,
flora.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
certain flora.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Nothing hard
yeah.
though, kids. No,
just
no.
flora.
Yeah.
Flora can't hurt you.
In fact, I do recall the session. What was the name of that engineer we had who had such great friends? And
Gypsy.
Gypsy would run out and get us a bit of
Oh,
herbal
and when
refreshment.
Gypsy ran out, he called Merlin. Remember that? Merlin, you
No,
know.
I don't remember
Oh God,
Merlin.
Yeah, the
Merlin.
guy that used to read the astrological.
Oh, I know him.
Yeah.
He had like the black velveteen overalls.
That's right.
with
That's
the
right.
pocket.
That's right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, the joy that came from that pocket. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this was a hit.
It was a hit record. Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually got up to about number 28 in the States, and
Yeah.
it got up to number
And it was
5 or
it
6.
was a
in
time
Britain.
when the Indian influence, Indian music was also.
Oh, that's your bailiwick.
So, yeah, and that the sitar.
Yeah.
So I play a electric sitar,
Yeah.
which was not as difficult to learn as a regular sitar, but
No.
it had its challenges. You know,
It's
Like
probably not as heavy either.
not as heavy.
not as many strings.
No.
No, 6 strings, just like a guitar. The challenge was finding one,
Yeah.
not playing it really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then once
You remember we had a guest drummer. He was a tabla player from India. I forget his name.
Oh God.
Gopar, something like Dupar, something like that.
Go pack.
Yeah, and he would play the tablas, and we put a whole track of him playing tablas all the way through it, and
And
it was
wiped
terrible.
it. Wiped
It
it.
was
Yeah.
awful
Yeah.
because he kept getting carried away, and he would mutter things under his breath. He was
Yeah.
yeah, it was very
Yeah.
distracting.
It was no good. We had to toss it
We
out,
tossed it.
He
yeah.
could.
chuck it.
The geezer couldn't count fours.
No, but
No.
he was famous
He
all
was
over
counting
India.
17s and
I
18s
know,
and all that
but he was
crap.
famous
Yeah.
all over India. We thought, well, he's got to be
Count
the
bloody
one.
fours.
We spent
See-
a bloody fortune getting him
Yeah.
to the
Yeah,
UK.
He was supposed to be. They said this guy's the best.
He's the best
well,
in the
the
business.
thing is, in India, they're very polite people, and no one there will say to the musicians, "Can you please play in
Less.
4/4?"
That's
Yeah.
right.
Because they don't want to offend them, you know.
Yeah.
Delicate sensibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just let it go.
Yeah.
These complicated beats, you know,
Yeah.
that no one really wants
It's
to
wanking.
hear. It makes you go
It's
crazy.
wanking, isn't
Well,
it?
it's-
It's
Yeah,
just wanking.
it's the big
It's not
wank of
something
all
you
time,
see, yeah.
really.
Yeah. You know,
yeah.
nothing.
But I thought this song, it's not political, and yet it's very, very political.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's about a movement. And, you know, without a good movement, it's hard to get your day started.
And it's advice. It's saying,
Listen.
listen to what the flower people
It
say.
even throws in the shh. Like, don't
Yeah.
talk, listen.
Listen. Yeah.
Which is always good
Don't
advice.
think.
Just
Listen.
listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always good advice.
Yeah. And I also I actually like the video that we did for this.
Oh yeah.
You know, with all the colours and everything.
And the
you know,
girls.
And the girls.
The
and
birds,
colours
the
and
birds, as
girls,
we used to
yeah,
call.
yeah. It was at this time that the band began experimenting with girls.
That's correct.
Of course, some of them led to some lab work. Warmer Than Hell was one of the few times we really wrote for one particular event.
For purpose.
For Live Earth 7707 at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
Couldn't have more sevens.
No. Well, you know,
Good.
if we had done it in 1977, it would have been perfect. But
Or July 77th.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
But it's called Warmer Than Hell, and it is our response to global warming, which we feel is the work of the devil. And it's all about how it's gotten too hot here on Earth, even for the devil.
Yeah, it's ironic because he
It's
did
terribly
it.
ironic.
He
It's
did it.
demonic.
It's
Ironic and demonic, yes.
because he caused this, and he can't even take
No,
it now.
he can't
No.
take it.
Yeah, that's the irony
Yeah.
of the song.
So
Well,
it
it-
turns.
It's the twist. Yeah.
It's the
twist.
devil gets bitten
Yeah.
in the arse, is what it is.
Again.
you know?
Yeah, by
his
himself.
own work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got this kind of.
Relentless, like warming itself.
And
Yeah.
It's a wailing sort of
Keening.
poetic
It's keening.
wailing,
Keening.
keening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the tarmac bubbles over, there's sulfur in the air
Yeah.
and all that other stuff I can't
Yeah.
remember.
It's
There's a lot of vivid
it
demonic
makes you
imagery.
feel like you're taking a trip with him, hand in hand, through hell. I guess.
Yeah.
you
It's a
know.
travel. It's a travelogue of hell.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, well said. Yeah.
Yeah. But what an experience!
Great experience.
To stand on that
68,000 people.
I thought it was 80.
70,
68.
71.
68 is what I
Between
heard.
68 and 71.
Well, you know, I think when we started there were about 80, and then 68 once
Yes.
we finished.
Buzz, just
Yeah,
see
just-
them right out there,
It's
waiting
great.
for the next band.
Of course, you know, 19 bass players for Big Bottom.
God.
Yeah, it
what
was
a great
quite an
event.
yeah.
But you know,
But this tune,
here's
well, go
here's
ahead.
the thing I'm proudest of. You're going to say
My
it yourself.
pants?
No,
No.
you were probably going to say it yourself. We wrote this tune. We performed it at Live Earth. We saved the world.
We did.
Done.
We did. We're okay now.
Done.
I think things are
Bloody cold
have
out.
turned around quite a bit since then. I noticed it was very chilly this morning. I needed a jumper
Yeah.
and
And a jumper cable.
a jumper cable.
It's like when you wet the bed.
Really?
First it's warm, then it's cold.
That's hell.
Warmer than hell.
Warmer than hell. Reggae flower, people.
Oh, it was sort of a confluence of styles, really, because we were all really into reggae at the time, the late 70s, early
Well, who
80s.
wasn't? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And but we also had this great classic of another time, or the psychedelic era.
You've been well and truly rocked.
No,
tonight.
leave it up to them.
No.
Make it like an open question.
Really?
Answer the musical question. Have you or have you not been rocked tonight?
Ooh. Yeah.
It's like,
But that would be a good idea for an encore song.
yeah.
Have you been rocked?
Have you been rocked?
Yeah.
And they go, yes!
Well, we hope they go yes.
Well, yeah.
Otherwise they go,
Well, no, we play
we
the...
want our money back.
No, the sound man pushes the button that says, has the crowd noise going,
Oh.
yeah! It's easy.
Rock and roll creation. You know, this was an attempt to touch, or at least rub, the face of God. Because we don't really talk much about open spirituality in this group, but rock and roll creation really does imply that the first thing that God did was to create rock and roll music.
And why not?
And why not? I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. They talk about the music of the spheres, you know, and some of the old Greek philosophers talk about that. I think it's what they're talking about. They're talking about the first thing that really happened was the beat, the drive.
Well, it gave them the energy to do the rest of the job.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
You need a soundtrack to get on with the rest of
Yeah.
the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
What's
if
he
you're just
gonna-
humming to yourself.
what's he going to create the universe listening to music?
Yeah. No.
I
no,
don't think
no.
so.
Or silence. No.
Yeah.
No.
But it's done with a respect for anyone who has any kind of religious training or, you know, upbringing. You can fit this into your way of thinking about religion if you listen to the lyrics carefully. It's all very...
Universal is what it is.
It's universal,
universal.
in its approach to religion.
You know, we took some criticism because the cover of Rock and Roll Creation, which was the name of the album that this song appeared on, we had sort of a stained glass look to the thing, and a lot of people thought that was offensive. Now, but what is rock and roll about if not stains? Really?
glass.
And glass.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You took
So-
put the two together.
They put
That's
the
what
two
you did.
together, and there you are. You know, so there was no offence intended.
None taken.
None mended. But I think that there is a hunger for spirituality in even the most
Wretched.
wretched or materialistic audience. They're reaching for something. They want something, and hopefully they buy it at the
At the merch
the
desk,
concessionaire
yes.
stands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should point out that, contrary to the impression you might have gotten from the film,
Yeah.
the pods opened most of the time.
Most of the times those pods open. These were the special birthing pods, which represented the womb of the universe.
What was it? It was an Icelandic artist who designed those. What was
his
her
name? K-Park, Leslie K-Park, something like that. Not
Yeah.
K-Park, obviously, but it was a Kvorpark, something like
Kvorpark,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
What happened to her?
I know it happened to her.
Oh, well,
well,
yeah. You know,
beyond that.
one thing that happened to
Yeah.
her, you were responsible for that. She was very attractive, I
Oh,
must say.
God, striking.
Tiny, though.
Striking,
Barely 4
yeah,
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But great design of the pods.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got
You know, you don't know this because we had a little bit of a relationship.
Yeah,
but
we know.
She came from, historically, fairies, Icelandic fairies, which are a
What?
group of people. You know, they have those little horses over there as well. There's an entire tribe of little women, beautiful, blonde, small.
How small?
Well, her mum was about this big.
I think you're making this up.
Mate,
Or
yeah,
she
I'm-
did,
I'm
and you
not- oh,
believed it.
they
which
lived
is
in a little
essentially
cottage.
the
You
same.
say
live-
she has fairy roots?
Fairy roots, I don't believe
Yes,
it.
she has very. Yes,
No.
yes, they have that webbing between.
How tall was she again?
Well, she was about 4 feet
Well, how did she get to be 4 feet
tiny.
if her mum was like this?
because her dad was
a
4 or
giant,
5.
a bloody giant.
4 or 5. Her dad was
He was
4.
a Viking.
Yeah, he was a bloody Viking,
Who is
wasn't he?
Viking?
Viking. You see, you're making.
We
you
are
know,
making
we are
fun of
making-
you because we think you've fallen for a great hunking story, and I think
Well,
that you should think about
I
it.
went to have tea and met the mum, and she was standing on the table, this big.
Oh, did she pour the tea?
No, her little hands were
You
so
know what?
small she couldn't pick up the bloody cup.
Maybe she wasn't really that small. You were just standing back further than you thought. You ever think of that?
Were you looking at a mirror? Because
Yeah.
objects in mirror may appear smaller.
Okay,
that's right,
all right,
yeah,
you can
yeah.
say what you like, you know.
No, but she was cute.
Jealous is what you are.
Oh yeah, jealous of this. Jealous of this.
Oh, they said Janice.
Jealous of this.
Oh, jealous. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Rock and roll creation.
yeah. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
The two things that this song is not are short and sweet.
Nor.
Nor.
Yeah.
Neither nor. Short and sweet, it began life as a sort of a jam, and we threw some words in. And it's still primarily, it's just a way of getting, guest stars up on the stage and being able to play and make some
Well,
noise.
when Tap comes to town, let's be honest.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to get up
Hello,
on stage with
oh,
us.
it's you, is
Yeah.
it, Eric? Everyone wants to get on the stage. with-
Everybody does.
Ingve, leave us alone. Yeah, we got to do that.
And Ingve J, leave
And
us
Ingve
alone.
J, the other one, yeah.
Yeah.
But at one time, famously, at what was the club? I was someplace in London, South London. We played Short and Sweet for 2 hours. And 2 hours of that relentless Bo Diddley beat, it left a mark. It scarred me internally, but it was worth it.
It drives you
Yeah.
deadly, literally.
You
It
go
drives you
through,
diddly.
it's like living an entire life while you're playing one song.
Yeah. It's all about how long can you do it. And so much of life is about how long you can do it.
Yes, without being dead
Yeah, yeah.
or defeated,
It's a well, look at it. It's a tribute song to ourselves.
That's a great way of putting it,
Yeah,
yeah. And it's also just one chord. It's
Yeah.
a good old E chord,
Yeah.
good enough for your granddad, good enough for you.
Yeah. And the funny thing about playing a song that's in with one chord is it forces the people listening really to imagine other chords where they would
Right.
be, but they're not.
Or imagine other places to be,
Yes.
rather than...
And imagine other
primarily.
things to be listening
And
to.
you
doing,
go through an
yeah.
entire sort of
Fantasy.
where what it might be
Yeah.
if it had a bridge.
Right. Well,
But
the one thing we don't...
it's like a meditation
That's it. yeah.
kind of what's the mantra.
Yes.
You know, it's like
Keep
you're
repeating.
zoning in on
Yes.
that note and that
Yes,
chord.
I think that's it.
That's
That's
that.
exactly it. The more you hear it, the less you hear it.
That's right.
Well, the more you hear it, the less you need to hear it. It's a fantasy, like you say, but it's
It
also a
eats
luxury.
It eats its own gravy.
And
Yes.
exactly, eats its own gravy.
Yes.
Well said.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But I think what's great about it is it's one of those things. If a kid who's just learning to play guitar, only knows one chord,
Yeah.
he can play this tune.
You can cover it.
He can cover this
Yeah.
tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
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 Short and sweet.
Of course, this is not the 2-hour version
No.
that we're releasing. It's about
No.
maybe 4 or 5 minutes. You know, it's still excessive.
It's
don't get me wrong.
compressed. It's a
It's
compression
compressed.
of reality.
It's distilled.
Yeah, it's boiled
compressed
down
by sound,
and yeah,
compression.
It's like
and
the
forced through a carbon filter.
Yeah.
Yeah. The new kind of meditation, which is
Speed-
short.
speed med.
Speed meditation, which
Speed
is
meditation.
something like instead of, sitting in a position for an hour, you
Yeah.
can do it in 40 seconds, 10 seconds. It's the effort and focus rather than the time.
It's extreme focus.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
So
power
you
meditation.
can sit
I think
in a
it's-
lotus position, close your eyes,
Yeah.
open them, and it's
Boom,
done.
boom,
Done.
it's done.
I
Get
think
it.
most meditation, it's not catching on like it used to because it's gotten so slow. Over-explaining moments and what have you. It's the cosmos. What's the big deal? Let's go.
Yeah.
onward,
Move it.
onward.
Move it. We get the joke.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Title tune, title track.
Title track to the album, Back from the Dead. I think this says a lot about us because people keep counting us out. They keep saying, well, they're done. That's yesterday's men at work
They're
or whatever.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They're dinosaurs.
Well, we
Well,
may be
The
dinosaurs, but
dinosaurs are still with us.
yeah. It's
You've-
like that
you've
Michael
seen-
Crichton story,
Well,
you
you
know,
saw them.
Jurassic Park.
Well,
It's
they
like
do
that.
exist in very highly wilderness areas still. A lot of
What?
people. Dinosaurs.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
He said he saw them.
I saw
No, you
one.
saw a large lizard. You saw some sort of a monitor lizard.
No, it was bigger than that.
Bigger than a monitor. Yeah.
Anyway, they exist. But getting back to the song,
Yeah. What song?
Back from the dead.
Back,
Back
from,
from
the
the
Dead.
Dead,
Yeah,
yeah.
we've been tossed away many
Counted
times.
out.
Yeah.
Counted
We've
out.
tossed ourselves away many
That's right.
times.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
not the end.
No.
And
No.
we've picked ourselves up off the toss heap.
Dusted
Yes.
ourselves
Dusted
off.
ourselves
Yeah.
off.
Started all
Start all
over
over again.
Yeah.
We know now, even if you're dead, you're not.
That's right. Well, we got
Especially when you're dead, you're not.
That's the point
That's
at
the-
which you are
that's the-
least dead.
That's the twist.
It's a funny thing, yeah. It's a philosophical conundrum, really.
It's important to wear a conundrum this day and age.
Oh,
But
they'll pass them out of school.
yeah,
the
they
other
do.
day.
Yeah. But we had the recitative moment in the song.
The what?
yeah.
Recitative.
The talking.
The talking
Oh,
bit.
the talking.
Yeah.
Is done by a bloke called Vincent Price Jr.
Yeah.
No relation,
No.
distant cousin of Vincent Price.
Yes.
But he found out that no one was using the name Vincent Price Jr., so he went ahead and used it. And he sounds a bit like him.
Yeah.
And
Well, he
so-
sounds every bit like Vincent
yeah,
Price Jr.
Yeah. And so he does the recitative in there.
The
you
what?
know,
Talking.
The
It's the
recitative.
talking part.
The talking
He keeps
bit.
saying that. And it's
Well,
Well, you
yeah.
keep asking.
Well, I forget.
No, well, don't forget anymore. Recitative. It's like Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yes.
You're going to say who are they?
I'm not.
Oh, right.
Who are they?
It's a song of triumph
Yeah.
And death.
and death
And life
and
after
life
death.
and
life
death
after
and
death.
life
You see,
and death.
most people, you drive, near a graveyard, you see the stones, and especially if it's moonlit night with the
The Stones are playing graveyards.
Brian Jones is.
branches and the moon and the thing. You think, oh, it's quiet. They're not in there because
They're
they've
out.
only died for a brief period of
Well,
time.
did you go? Hello, are you?
I didn't have to. They're,
Okay.
they're back.
There wasn't
Same
even a
way that
piano
we are
there,
back
so
from the
it doesn't
dead.
do that.
You know?
That's very well said.
Yeah.
I wish I'd listened to it.
Back from the dead. Come
Back
join
from
us.
the dead.
Come join us on the journey.
Come
back
join us
from the
when you
dead.
die.
Yeah.
We decided to do a new version of Sex Farm, which is one of our favourite tunes. We love playing
tap.
Sex Farm.
Classic tap.
But we decided to sort of hip hop it up, and it was off the hook. I thought
Off the charts.
it was
Well,
it's going to remain off the charts as
easy
well.
for us to say.
But yeah, it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. And Skippy Scaffoldton, who is our current drummer, we think.
Current
Has anyone
occupant.
seen him this morning?
No.
Current occupant of the seat.
Yeah, he really got off on that sort
I
of
think
hip hop beat.
You know what I think he did? I
What?
think he channeled his inner Negro.
Never thought about it that
really,
way.
yeah, that's what he did.
But we got some horns in there. We got a little bit of rap. Nothing overt.
No bitches or hoes.
No,
No.
Well, I mean, in the studio, yes, but
No,
not
but I mean,
in
like-
on the track.
Yeah.
No.
No MFs.
No,
So it's clean.
No, it's clean. It's
Yeah.
it's
clean
It's
rap.
not explicit,
No, it's
as they say
it's
on
Brit
iTunes.
rap.
But I think it's a great song. I think it's a great
Yeah,
song.
it's fun to play. It's
Yeah.
fun to play songs we've written a long time ago in a different way.
Yeah.
It's fun to do an interpretation, you know,
Of
our own
ourselves.
thing.
Of
I
ourselves.
played the track for one of my clients. I've been managing some hip hop acts, you know, and I played it for one of my artists, a big fat black guy.
Called.
Big fat black guy. That's the name
Got
he
it.
works under.
Yeah.
And he loved it. He said it was off the hook. That's why I got that
I
phrase.
see, I see.
He said first, I'll quote him directly. He said, "Yo, yo,
Yeah. That was just to get your attention.
what are?"
Or,
Which means, what is this track you're playing?
Yeah.
And then he said, "Off the hook,"
Yeah.
and then he hung up.
Oh, he was on the phone.
Well, he just put the phone back in the hook.
I see.
Yeah.
I suppose. I must
Yeah, but
behind
you know, the
it.
great thing about it is you still, as you hear this track, to me, you get the picture in your mind
The imagery.
of a saxophone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Point
and
of song.
lots of people don't realise that when we were writing this song, we'd taken a drive through the country, through the Midlands area, and we saw a sax farm. And it's something that exists in
I'd
the
never
English
heard of it.
countryside.
And it stays with you.
It stays with you, and you know, I mean, a few shots of penicillin, and you're good
No,
to
but I
go.
mean the image stays.
Oh,
The
yeah,
image
the
stays
image.
with you, yeah.
But you know, you see these thatched roofs, and you think these sheep and farmers, and you think, why is everyone so happy?
Why are they all
We
smiling?
found out,
We
sure did,
why
yeah.
they're so happy.
Yeah.
The milkmaid, she was happy.
yeah.
Yes,
She sure
indeed.
was,
Well,
yeah.
happy in her work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there was-
yeah. But I think it's what I like about it is it's got that outdoorsy feel. You know, most songs that
It's
that involve-
rustic.
It's rustic. Yeah, it's rustic. Yeah,
It's urban
It's
rustic.
bucolic.
It's urban rustic.
it's
though.
bucolic and rustic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and off the hook. So we decided to try and combine them. If we could, you know, throw in some sound effects like seagulls and things like that. You know, and
Well, there were actually seagulls in the studio, weren't there?
yeah, no, they were live.
Yeah.
They were live seagulls. Yeah.
Devil of the time getting them out.
Yeah, but we had made a trip down to Jamaica. It was like 78 or 9, something like that.
1980. Actually.
Yeah, that's right. And we had such a good time,
Ah,
such a
magical
marvelous
place.
time.
Yeah.
Complete magic.
But we were going to do a whole record down there, weren't we?
Yeah, but it wasn't going to be good because after we'd kind of blown our wad on this one tune, we didn't have much reggae in us.
Yeah,
I think it's not endemic to middle-aged white men from the UK. But we got one good one out. I thought the reggae flower
Like it.
people really works. Yeah,
And it's it's taking a song which is from a time and place of a certain floral efflorescence
yes,
and transplanting it to an area which was having its own floral efflorescence,
with
if you
certain
will,
herbal
with certain
assist.
herbal
yes,
assists.
yes.
So it really
very
got
true.
transplanted successfully.
It's a marriage.
Yes, right.
It's a marriage of herbs.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It was
Or
really it was
hands.
I remember two things about the recording session. One, that we had a great time, wound up with a wonderful track, and two, that we were held up at gunpoint. Do you remember that? We were like mixing,
Oh yeah.
and bloke came in with a sawed-off shotgun,
Yeah.
and he said, "Give us all your money," and we didn't have any.
Yeah.
We didn't have any currency
And he
at
was
all.
a very mean-looking.
Yeah, but
Oh
bloke.
God.
yeah,
He had razor cuts on his face.
Yeah.
didn't he? Yeah.
yeah. But he turned out not to be homicidal at the time.
No.
So he turned on his heel once he realised there was no money to be had.
Yeah.
But I remember that. And I remember at the time thinking, why aren't I more frightened?
Well, you weren't more frightened because it was a Nerf gun.
I know it wasn't a very convincing gun, but it was sawed off. I thought that was,
It's not easy to saw off Nerf.
no. So he was at least dedicated to his work.
That's right.
But that's a story with that one.
Yeah. Cups and Cakes is it's sort of a classical feel to it. It's a love. It's almost a children's song, really. It's
You could forget the almost.
it's a kid's song.
It
It's,
really
chi-
is.
It's childlike.
it's childlike and childish.
It's childlike-ish.
Yeah, yeah.
It has an innocence to it, which is, David has this ability to write songs for people who have a very open mind. you know, not cynical.
Slow people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant. Yeah.
The song is sort of got a classical feel to it. The original, of course, has a lot of strings on it, and this.
Yeah.
It's also got, pardon me for saying
No,
it,
it's
it's
all
got
right.
a classical smell to it as well.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah.
No.
You should stand where I'm standing.
Yeah. I usually smell my own cologne more than anything
Yeah.
else.
That's maybe
Yeah.
maybe
A
that's
lot
it.
of people, you know, try to find out if a song has an inner meaning or something, a double meaning. And in this song, it's really just what it says, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
It's tea. It's having your tea with your friends,
Yeah.
and then it's over and you go home.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
It's
no.
all on the surface.
Yeah.
It's a surface song.
Right, and there's gastric distress mentioned. I'm so full, my tummy aches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not like a thematic thing. It's just a fact of life.
When
yeah.
it first came
have
out,
too
a
much
lot
tea.
of critics pointed to that line
Yeah.
and say, "Tea, won't you take it with me?" And they thought it was about a menage a trois.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And we said no, and they didn't believe
And
us.
also in the days when this came out, if I'm not mistaken, there was a lot of misinterpretation about tea. People thought, oh, he's talking about tea.
No, no,
You
you've
know.
got to take tea. Won't you take it with
tea.
me? That's all it
It's
means.
just-
Have a nice cup of
Yeah,
tea.
it's nothing to do with the women at the time that we knew did it.
What did what? I know what they did, but what were you referring
I
to?
was just thinking about it. It was a good
Yeah,
time.
it's
It's
Just
also a
thinking
piano
about it.
song, which is very rare for.
Yeah, I play a bit of the keyboards in
Yeah.
there. You know, Mr. Tufnell plays the guitar and bass, and it's just usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
But it's a piano song.
Yeah, soft as well, not loud.
no,
It's not Ponce though.
no,
No.
It was actually the B-side to "Give Me Some Money."
Yeah.
So it was recorded by the Thamesmen with old Ronnie Pudding before your day. It was Ronnie Pudding on the bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hofner bass he played.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Ronnie went to Namibia.
Namibia. Right, I know that.
Released one album. What was it called?
Doesn't anybody ever speak English?
Doesn't anybody here speak English? Yeah.
But I mean, since
But
then.
that was 1969. I haven't heard from them since then.
No.
Wow.
I always just assume they become civil servants, and you eventually you'll encounter them working in the post office. or
Namibian civil service.
something. Namibian civil service. Oh boy,
That's-
there's a retirement plan I don't
Yeah,
know
there's a
about. Yeah.
Pension package you don't want to look into.
Yeah, yeah. But I'll say this about Ronnie. No, I'm done.
No. Yeah.
You know, every time we came to the States, we always made a mental note to write a song about the United States, and we kept forgetting. We should have written it down.
Should have made a real note. Should have written
actual
real
note.
note.
Yeah.
But then finally we did. Mr. Tufnell started, strumming the old
He
acoustic
actually had a guitar in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, an actual guitar.
It's a very romantic notion of coming to a large country
And yet feeling like a small child.
yeah, we come
being
from a
birthed.
fairly small
We
Island,
we
yeah.
little place.
Yeah.
yeah, and
You know
then
the strange thing, I was thinking about this the other day. The United States is very large, Britain is very small.
We just said
And
that.
the United States, but the United States used to be part of Britain.
Well, everything big used to be part
what are you
of it.
talking
Yeah,
about?
India as
India.
well. And
Yeah.
what were they thinking?
We were thinking we'd get bigger.
Sad little country, trying to
They were
run the
thinking
entire-
we'll get bigger.
And we didn't. Got smaller.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a great country and it's a great song. I think Nige wrote most of the lyrics.
Well, I started it, and then you took over, which normally happens.
I wrote the Jumbo Jet line. That's the only one I recall. You wrote all the Brady Bunch and
The screaming.
Smokey Bell, the screaming stuff.
Yeah.
That's your specialty, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
But
And bellowing.
Yeah.
It's really an homage.
It's Copeland-esque, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Well, because it's fast and then it's slow.
Yeah,
And it's fast.
it has everything in a nutshell.
I love playing the song mainly because I don't sing much in it. I get a break.
Well, you love doing that doodly doodly doodly.
I love the doodly doodly stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it shows off our skill as
Well,
guitar players. That
yeah,
part,
and-
it has really. If you look at the history of America, which began, when did it begin?
17.
220.
Well, listen, it was discovered in 14 something, so it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
We're talking.
oh, well, then the Red Man discovered it. Before that.
Well, that goes. Then now.
No,
it's
I
getting-
think they've
it's a
found.
controversy
I
about
think
that.
you're wrong. Yeah, about that.
Really?
Yeah, there were Neolithic people here.
No, but the Indians say there were no Neolithic people. You see,
I think they were
that's where
post-lithic. They were
it's-
post-lithic
yeah,
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
So there were Native Americans, and then they all died, and
well,
then the real Native Americans.
yeah.
came
Well,
along.
so
basically, because I've studied this, the Indians came over, they went to Ellis Island, they checked in, you know, Geronimo, all these people.
And that's where they picked up their
That's where he got the name. They
Yeah.
changed his
Christian
name.
names.
They changed it.
Yeah, it was Gershowitz who changed it to
Yeah,
Geronimo.
exactly. Yeah, and then you know, the country began, and then what people don't know is the Indians, the red man, left for a period of about 25 years.
Really? Where'd they go?
No one knows. Yeah, they just left.
Don't
Lost
know.
and stumbling in the wilderness. I
Yeah, and
suppose.
then they came back, and then the Irish, you know, those famous
Don't start about
wars
the
that they had
Irish.
with the Irish and the Indians,
Yeah.
the Irish-Indian wars.
Yeah. The IIs.
The
Anyway,
II
it was a
wars,
great
yeah.
subject, America, great subject for a song.
And I thought "Give Me Some Money" was one of our first times we really put together the lyric as you know on the day.
Yes.
And it's nice and direct. It says exactly what it means. It says, "Give me some money."
Yeah.
And that's what we were out for. We already had the talent.
Yeah.
We already had the gumption, as
Yeah.
the Americans like to put it.
Yeah.
What we didn't have was money. We couldn't even
Yeah.
pay for the session.
No.
Yeah.
No, and it was, you know, it made me proud at that time to be a Thamesman after we finished the song. Listening to that, it was,
Yeah.
I love being a Thamesman.
I know what the Thamesmen sound like. That's
Yeah,
right.
and that was what they sounded like.
And we immediately changed our name,
Yeah.
of course.
And the sound.
And yeah. This is right before we went to work with, this is before you came along.
That's right.
Before we went to work for the Johnny Good Show review.
Yeah.
And then the Les and Mary Chiswick Soul
Soul
Explosion.
Explosion, yeah. That was, we did all these seaside
Yeah.
places, you
yeah.
know, we did, of course, Blackpool,
Brighton.
Brighton, all the typical places.
Fisting.
Yeah, and you know, you hone your craft in those kind of
You
places.
get your sea legs.
That's right.
You do, you really do.
Your
you know.
seaside legs.
It's weird,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's
Yeah.
weird. And then what I remember about this song is much later, of course, when we were touring, we had to stop playing it because people took it literally
Yeah.
and started throwing money
Right.
at us.
We don't have to worry about that anymore. Nobody's got any money
No,
to
it's a
throw.
bit different.
Well, they didn't take us literally.
I
either.
remember we were in Manchester,
Yeah.
we did a show,
Oh,
and it was a time when they still made a threepenny bit, it was called.
Yeah.
You know, 3 pennies,
Well,
now
could
they
put
don't make it.
Put a dent in your noggin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
You
between
see
the
it
eyes.
coming at you, and it hit me in the right here in the
Yeah.
head, and there's a little indentation.
We had the date on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
A
could
picture
see,
of the Queen.
you know, yeah. And we said no more,
No more of that.
No
yeah.
more. Thank you. We'll make our money some
Elsewhere.
other way.
Yeah.
which
What
wasn't
we should have said was, "Give me something we would want. Lunch."
paper money.
Sex.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't really throw sex at people, can you? The Beatles were smart. They said, "We like jelly babies," and so people would throw jelly babies at them. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
You
we
can
should have
do.
thought.
I don't think you can say that anymore. Is that
Jelly babies?
derogatory? And
No.
so-
No.
No.
No, you think of chocolate babies. You can't
Ah.
say that.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Okay. Yeah.
No, they don't make those anymore. They make root beer barrels. They're good.
Can't say that.
Why not?
Somebody took offence, didn't they?
Root beer barrels?
Yeah.
No, you think
Big
something-
Germans.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
right.
that's
Yeah.
true.
There's
Yeah.
a thing in Cologne.
That's
yeah,
right.
I
Yeah.
remember reading about that. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, what can you say about Stonehenge? You know, it's one of the most famous earthworks in all of Europe.
Yeah. It's not even earth.
No, it's stone.
Stonework.
Hence,
Stonework,
hence
That's the
stone.
name.
Earthhenge doesn't exist as far as we know.
Nor does Woodhenge.
No, but it ought. Well, it was inspired primarily, of course, by the monuments, the lithic expressions of the Druidic tribes.
Yeah. It is shrouded in a mystery of sorts. You know, it's some people say it's 3, 4, 5, 7,000 years old.
Which
I think
people are
it's
those?
Well, the ones who don't think it's thick, 6,000.
yeah, and I think it's much more recent than that.
Really?
Yeah.
1955.
No, but I place it pre-World War II.
Really?
Yeah.
In the interwar
Amazing.
period.
I think it's sometime in between 1920, for instance, and 39. Yeah.
What's your evidence for this?
Well, I've been there, and
It
I've
looks so
taken
good, right? Yeah.
soil sample, you know, from the ground. You take dirt, you do an analysis, a chemical sort of analysis.
And you've done this,
I've taken the soil.
but you've never done the testing on it.
Well, I've done some sort of testing where you secrete moisture on certain
You've
parts.
pissed on the soil, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
you took a leak at Stonehenge.
Well, that's
is what
the
you're
beginning.
saying. Yeah.
Uric acid is really the great leveler. I
Yes.
think Bertrand Russell said
He
that.
did
or
indeed. What were
recently.
they saying in the interwar period in building the
They were
Stonehenge,
saying
do you
we
think?
need some sort of icon to show the evil people that we're strong.
Yeah, they obviously weren't falling for the White Cliffs of Dover. That wasn't holding them up, was it? And they've flown right over
See,
there.
they've done
bombing
all that.
London.
You've got Big Ben. You've got
So your point is that there are druids still among us, as recently as...
druids are among us today.
Really?
A lot of people think, oh, this is hooded people from yesteryear. It's not true.
Yeah.
No, they're still alive.
Some people
the
say
boys
that-
in hoodies are druids?
In effect, yeah. You could
What
say
about the
that.
rumour that the Druids run show business? Have you ever heard that?
I've heard that they run banking,
Well,
international
that's,
banking.
Yeah,
it's partly
yeah.
true. They ran the studios in California in the 30s and 40s.
Druidic
we know
people.
That, yeah, we knew
Amazing.
that.
Didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. See, the Druids are peaceful people by
Really?
nature.
Except for the ones we've hired to dance around the Stonehenge.
Those aren't real Druids.
But they're not very
Those are
peaceful.
show business Druids.
Okay.
Short people.
Short people
Yeah.
Yes.
with
Very, very unhappy.
that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a different issue.
They're not as unhappy when they drink enough.
No, but when they're dancing for us,
Yeah, they're usually miserable, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
I'm dancing around your bloody Stonehenge. What do you want? I'm
What I like about
recalling-
Stonehenge is that it's got 3 sections, you know. It's got
Yeah.
the slow bit at the top,
Yeah.
all that, and then
Yeah.
and
great.
And you, my love.
and then we get to that. Actually, it's 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
and
And
it's-
then we get to the mandolin bit.
yeah,
You know, where he plays
Yeah.
the mandolin and
and then
all
it's
that.
back to the.
Yeah.
So it's multi-sectional.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a living room sofa.
Right.
Yeah.
Heterosectional, you could
I
call
think it's such a history lesson for people to.
Ignore.
It's their choice, you know.
Yeah,
But the song itself, it gives you history.
No, I've never asked you this question, but
No.
have you ever gotten any feedback from druids about the song?
Well, I can get that if I turn.
No.
it-
No,
I
not
mean
that kind of
you know,
feedback. No,
reaction.
Song, yeah.
Reaction.
People writing.
People saying, "No,
letters
it's
about
good
the
work."
Yeah,
song.
I know some druids in London. There's one in South Ken, there's one in Camden Town, and there's one in near Holland Park. And none of them that I know have any problem with this. As
Have they said they liked it?
no?
Have they
They're not
said that-
self-loathing druids, are they? 'Cause
One
I hate
is,
that. Yeah.
one is, but they don't have a problem. Of course, they may have never heard the song. That's also
well, there's a
possi-
secret.
Yeah.
Well, they will now then.
Rock and Roll Nightmare's an early one.
It's prehistoric.
Yeah, virtually, yeah. See, we wrote this, sort of threw it together one day. We were looking for a B-side, I recall, and we said, well, let's just like do something about something in our lives. Nigel had this terrible nightmare where the devil was trying to make him eat a set of drums.
Yeah, it was very vivid. I remember waking up, sweating, which I do anyway, and the devil, and it was that kind of devil from cartoons, with the crimson sort of face with the horns and the pitchfork, and he was standing over me like that, just about to, impale me, and he said in a very that low kind of devil voice, "You will eat drums, Nigel." And so I woke up.
Did you tell him you don't play drums?
No.
It had nothing to do with it. That's just part of the devil is in the details after all. Yeah, one of the
And
details
in the dream
was-
as well.
Yeah. But having said that, it's fun to play. It's like a little story. It's like a little ugly bedtime story.
Yeah,
Ways,
but
yeah.
it's good to have
Ugly
a
Betty story.
frightening story once in a while. It's good to have not everything have a happy ending or something like that. And the space that you're talking about in the tune, it lets people reimagine
Their own nightmares.
their own nightmare.
Throw their own nightmares in.
Yeah,
right.
you can place it. It's like a little module.
Yeah.
Put yours in there, re-experience it.
We should have like a contest. What's your rock and roll nightmare?
Oh God, that's great.
Isn't that a great idea?
Yeah.
Just have people, they say, well, my nightmare, and then they just say what it is.
Put it on the website.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That is a great idea.
Right.
Don't say it because people will nick it.
Well, it's too late now. They've nicked it already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Really good.
But I think that having a nightmare and being in a rock and roll band, it's a fine line, really.
Another fine line.
It's a fine line between being
That's
in a
that-
rock and roll band.
That's
right.
that thing from
Stupid.
Laurel and Hardy. Another fine line.
Another
Another
fine line
fine line
you've
you've
got
got
me
to
into,
get
yeah.
across.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, we needed another anthemic tune. We usually start with the idea of writing an anthem, and then we go ahead and write something different.
A ditty.
A ditty, yeah, yeah. But Hellhole originally started life as sort of a lick. He came in with that da 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 da, and we just sort of built from there. And he wanted to write a song
Yeah.
about his modest beginnings.
Yeah, because when I grew up, East End of London, I was very poor. We were poor. We were both poor, but I thought
you were poorer than
my
I
family
was.
was even poorer. And to grow up in what you call a hellhole, really one room, one very small room, no loo,
You used to come over to my house to use the toilet.
yeah, and and so it really was.
Well, everybody in the neighbourhood did, didn't they?
It was looking back on all that was really to me, and how it affected me later in my life. Calling it a hellhole sounds very dramatic, but it really was true.
I do recall when we were writing the lyric, at times Nigel would write a bit of a lyric and he'd read it back to us, and there would be tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
And his nose would run a bit.
Well, there was a bit of drool coming from the
Some
mouth,
drool,
too.
yeah. So we knew it was affecting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the best songs, I think you can say this about anyone, come from real life situations.
Yeah.
If you can-
Stardust. Good
Yeah,
example, yeah.
yeah. Maisie Dotes.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect example.
Yeah, good.
Reeks with experience.
Duke of Earl.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, anything.
The man who wrote Duke of Earl actually knew the Duke of Earl personally.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's why
That's what they
it's
say.
so.
It's got the ring of truth.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does, and I think Hellhole still gives me shivers.
Yeah.
When we
And
start.
of course, the moral is, once you've hit the top, and you're living high and everything,
Yeah.
you're not satisfied because you miss all those people that you used to
All
hang
that
around.
rotten shit you grew
Yeah,
up with.
all that crap
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the hellhole. You miss
Yeah.
your hellhole. You don't
Yeah.
miss your hellhole till your water runs dry or something
That's
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you've now explained the song to people.
Well, it's not like they were in suspense.
That's my...
No.
Yeah.
No, it's all right.
The ultimate opening number, really. Tonight I'm going to rock you.
Yeah.
Because it says intent. It says tonight we're going to rock you tonight.
There's no.
I'm going to
I'm.
rock you. Well,
It's
we
not-
is the implied
It's the
we.
royal eye.
Yes,
There's
exactly.
no confusion at all. This is what's going to happen. Here it is.
No mistakes. no-
Originally the song was called Tonight.
Yeah.
Turned out there was already a song called Tonight, so we said, we'll call it Tonight I'm going to rock you.
Turned out it was one
Turned
of those.
out there was one of those.
Yeah.
So we had to add the other Tonight. Tonight I'm going to rock you tonight is the full
Full-on
on title.
official.
What would it have been called if there had been a song already called Tonight I'm Going to Rock You Tonight?
She married her boss.
Yeah.
That's always my answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Right.
No, we would have called it,
Eat this.
stay here for the show.
Come
as
on.
long as you're paid.
Yeah.
Come on, feel the noise right under my trousers.
My boy. Yeah. But anyway, it's got nothing. It's power chords.
Oh, you're going to get rocked.
Well, it's a great big world, but there's only one of me. Can't touch because I cost too much, but tonight I'm gonna rock you. And tonight I'm gonna rock you. Boy, you really missed the drummer, don't you?
Yeah, what happened to
Yeah.
him?
Well, who knows? I mean, it's early days, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But
that's the
it's-
idea. The idea is to inform people straight out that you're going to rock them, and then rock them.
And then tell them they've been rocked.
They've been rocked. We've
At
never
the
really
end.
written that song. We
That's
should write
the
a song.
one we need.
Have you